Taekook fan fiction. When he was secretly married to him Part 2? Are you ready, my lovelies, for this emotional love story? Then let's begin. The studio lights burned brighter than the sun. Taehyung stood on set in costume, a script tucked into the pocket of his mind. Cameras whirred, microphones hung overhead, and a small army of crew members whispered directions and prepared for the next take. Across from him, actress Mia, poised, professional, beautiful in the exact way the role required, smiled politely as they rehearsed the scene one last time. It was the critical moment of the film, a confession, a desperate pull into intimacy, sealed with a kiss. What Taehyung didn't know was that Jungkook had walked into the studio minutes earlier. Dressed in a dark tailored coat, his piercing glinting faintly under the lights, Jungkook moved silently to the far side of the room. He didn't announce himself. He didn't need to. He simply stood behind the monitors, his sharp eyes fixed on his husband. At first, his chest swelled with quiet pride. Taehyung looked breathtaking under the lights, the camera capturing his ethereal beauty in every frame. But then the director called, "Action!" and Jungkook's pride twisted into fire. Mia stepped closer, her hand on Taehyung's cheek, the script unfolding as her character whispered words only meant for Taehyung's on-screen lover. Taehyung, the professional, responded with flawless emotion, eyes tender, voice low, his body language convincing. The crew watched in awe as the chemistry unfolded naturally. Then it happened. Mia leaned in. Their lips brushed, soft and fleeting, but long enough for the world to believe. Something in Jungkook snapped. His jaw clenched so hard it ached, his fists tightening at his sides. The sight of anyone touching Taehyung like that, even for work, ignited a storm he could no longer contain. His chest felt hollow, suffocated by jealousy and heartbreak, the same ache he had buried now ripping free. Without a word, Jungkook turned on his heel, his expression thunder. "Cut!" the director called out cheerfully, praising the performance. Taehyung barely heard it. His sharp gaze had already spotted Jungkook's tall frame retreating toward the exit. His heart dropped. "Koo!" Taehyung whispered under his breath, panic spreading through his chest. He moved to step off the set, but the producer immediately raised a hand. "Taehyung, wait. We need to reset for another angle. Stay in place, please." Taehyung's desperation rose. No time," the producer cut in firm. "Focus. We'll lose the light." Taehyung's throat closed, frustration burning behind his eyes. From across the room, Jungkook paused just long enough to look back. Their eyes locked. In that single moment, words became unnecessary. Taehyung's gaze pleaded, "Please don't leave. It's only acting. Please understand." Jungkook's stare, however, was raw, pain, jealousy, betrayal, and a heartbreak he didn't bother to hide. His lips pressed into a thin line, his chest rising sharply, as if every breath hurt. Then with one final glance, Jungkook turned and walked out. Taehyung stood frozen, nails digging into his palms, the set around him blurring. His heart screamed to run after him, but he was shackled by the role, by the expectations of dozens of watching eyes. "All right, reset," the director's voice rang out, oblivious to the silent disaster unraveling in Taehyung's chest. He went through the motions, hitting his marks, saying his lines. But his mind was elsewhere, every smile hollow, every movement mechanical. He kissed Mia again when told, but all he could think of was Jungkook's eyes, the way they had looked at him like he was no longer his safe place but a stranger breaking his heart. By the time the director finally called wrap, Taehyung could barely breathe. He tore off his mic, rushed to the dressing room, and ignored the congratulatory chatter around him. His only thought was of home, of Jungkook, of a man with thunder in his veins and heartbreak written all over his back as he walked away. Jungkook didn't wait for the cameras to stop rolling. The moment Taehyung's lips brushed against Mia's, his chest caved in with a sharp ache, and he turned on his heel, storming out of the studio. The air outside was cold, but it wasn't enough to cool the fire in his veins. He walked aimlessly, anger and pain pushing him further away from the set, until the glowing sign of a bar caught his eye. Inside the music was low, the lights dim. Jungkook strode to the counter, loosening the knot of his tie. "Whiskey. Strong. Don't stop pouring," he ordered. His tone was dangerous, sharp enough to silence the bartender's hesitation. Glass after glass clinked against the wood. He swallowed each one like it might erase the image of Taehyung in someone else's arms. But it didn't. Nothing could. His jaw clenched, his fists tightened, and soon his vision blurred with tears that refused to stay hidden. He pressed the back of his hand against his mouth, trying to hold it in, but the sobs broke through anyway, silent, desperate, broken. The CEO who never bowed, who never bent, sat hunched at a bar like a man with nothing left. Jungkook. He blinked, turning his head slowly. There stood Jimin, his older brother, with his girlfriend just behind him. Shock and worry spread across Jimin's face as he rushed over. "What the hell happened to you?" Jimin whispered, sliding into the seat beside him. Jungkook gave a bitter laugh, though it cracked halfway out of his throat. "Taehyung?" He downed another shot, his hand trembling. "He doesn't love me anymore, Hyung. I saw it. In his eyes. On that set. Jungkook." "He kissed her like I wasn't even there," Jungkook continued, voice breaking. Tears slipped down his cheeks now, unrestrained. "Do you know what it feels like? To give someone everything, every breath, every second, and still not be enough." His chest heaved, his words stumbling between sobs. "I thought I was his world, but maybe I'm just a secret he regrets keeping." Jimin's girlfriend touched his shoulder gently, but it was Jimin who leaned close, his voice steady. "Listen to me, Jungkook. Taehyung loves you. I've seen it in the way he looks at you. You're drunk and hurt right now, and your mind is twisting things. Don't let one scene, one kiss, erase the truth of everything you've built together." But nothing Jimin said could pierce through the storm inside him. Jungkook slammed another glass down, shaking his head. "It's over, Hyung. My world's ending. I can't go back to him tonight." His voice dropped, hoarse and tired. "Take me to Mom and Dad's house. Not home. I can't be there." Jimin exchanged a worried glance with his girlfriend, then nodded. "All right. I'll take you." Minutes later, Jungkook was slumped in the passenger seat of Jimin's car, silent tears streaking his face as the city lights blurred outside. His head leaned against the cold glass, and he didn't speak another word until they reached the John family home. Back in the penthouse, Taehyung arrived hours later. The door clicked open, the familiar echo of his footsteps carrying into the dark apartment. He dropped his bag by the entrance and looked around. The place was silent. No light, no warmth, no Jungkook waiting on the couch like always. "Jungkook?" he called softly, stepping further inside. But the only answer was the hum of the refrigerator and the ache in his chest. The home felt hollow without him. Empty, cold. And Taehyung realized then just how badly he had hurt the man he loved. Fear clawed at his chest. He grabbed his phone and dialed Jungkook's number. Once, twice, 3 times. No answer. He sent messages, long ones, short ones, desperate apologies, but each remained unread. His voice trembled as he left voicemails. Baby, I'm sorry. Please, pick up. I didn't want to hurt you. Please talk to me, Jungkook. But silence was the only reply. Taehyung sat on the couch, head in his hands, panic sinking into his bones. What if Jungkook truly hated him now? What if this was the end? His chest ached so much it felt hard to breathe. When the phone finally rang, his heart leapt, only to drop again when he saw it wasn't Jungkook but Jimin. Hyung, Taehyung answered quickly, voice breaking. Is Jungkook with you? Please tell me he's with you. There was a pause on the other line, then Jimin's steady voice. Taehyung, can I come over? Me and my girlfriend. We need to talk. Taehyung hesitated, then whispered, yes. Please, come. Minutes later, the bell rang. Taehyung opened the door. His eyes already red from crying. Jimin entered with his girlfriend by his side. Taehyung? Jimin started softly, looking at Taehyung's face. You love him, don't you? Tears streamed down Taehyung's cheeks before he could stop them. More than my life, he choked. I never wanted to hurt him, Jimin. I don't care about fame, about work. I just want him. He's my everything. Jimin's girlfriend gently touched Taehyung's arm. Then don't let your work come between you two. Jungkook needs to feel like your first choice, not your second. You can be an actor, yes, but at home he needs Taehyung, the husband who puts him first. Taehyung broke down completely, covering his face with his hands. I was so stupid. I thought he understood. I thought he knew. Jimin sighed, sitting beside him. He's hurting, Taehyung. I've never seen him like this before. He told me he feels like you don't love him anymore, that his world is ending. The word stabbed Taehyung's heart. He shook his head furiously. No, that's not true. I love him. I'd give up everything for him. Please, Jimin, tell me where he is. I'll go to him right now. But Jimin only placed a hand on his shoulder, firm and calm. Taehyung, listen. Jungkook needs space. He's not ready to see you yet. If you chase him now, you might make it worse. Give him time. Let him heal a little, and then when he's ready, prove to him that your love is real. Taehyung sat there trembling, torn between the urge to run to Jungkook and the fear of pushing him further away. All he could do was whisper broken, please, tell him I love him. Tell him I'll wait. Jimin's girlfriend squeezed his hand. Then wait. And when the moment comes, make sure he never doubts again. Taehyung nodded through his tears. The house still felt cold without Jungkook, but now at least he knew what he had to do. To be continued? Please stay tuned for the next part. Hope you enjoyed this heartbreaking episode. Please know love is always bigger than any ups and downs. Thanks for watching.